welcome to Bake With Me. Yes, it's a show about baking, but I've also been pickling a lot of things lately. There are an amazing amount of Scotch bonnets on these plants. This is a sauce that my boyfriend has made many times. Let me tell you, it is hot. He spent 3 or 4 years growing Scotch bonnets, maybe longer, from seeds from Jamaica. I'm gonna pick them, and then I'm gonna make the sauce. It's a very hot sauce because these are very, very hot peppers. All right, so I'm ready to start making this sauce. The first step in making a hot sauce is very carefully cutting up your hot peppers. Now, these are Scotch bonnet peppers, also known as bonnies, did you know? And they are somewhere in the ballpark of 100 times hotter than a jalapeno pepper. I'm going to cut up these last 3, but the very first thing I'm gonna do is put the gloves on, because if you were to cut these without wearing gloves, you would discover later on just how unpleasant it is when you rub your eye or various other body parts with your hands after not using gloves. Okay, so I am going to cut the remaining last peppers. What I've been doing is just cutting them in half and then quartering them. I'm removing the seeds because a lot of the heat is in the seeds. So I think this will be plenty hot. The smell emanating from this bowl of Scotch bonnets is not making my eyes water the way I thought it would. I actually thought it was going to be a little bit painful, like sort of like when you're cutting onions. It's very fragrant, a little bit fruity. It's got, I know it is a fruit, but it almost has like a bit of a citrusy sort of essence to it. Don't let that fool you. These are spicy. So now I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vegetable oil to my medium saucepan that is just heating up. And I'm gonna add the Scotch bonnets. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm also gonna add the onion. Oh, there's the onion. And this is 1 small onion. Just gonna dump that right in there. So I'm gonna add this medium-sized tomato. Really what we're doing here, the onion and the tomato, is meant to cut the heat of the Scotch bonnets when you're making the sauce. If the sauce was simply Scotch bonnet peppers, a little bit of onion, garlic, water, and vinegar, it would be like blow the top of your head off. So I'm just gonna saute this. Let me turn the heat up just a little bit. I'm also gonna add 6 cloves of garlic to this sauce and saute that in with the other ingredients. And add the rest of this garlic that I pre-pressed earlier. And by the way, that's also garlic that we grew on the rooftop deck upstairs. It's really nice when you can use the things that you grow. The smell coming off this pan right now is amazing. So I'm just gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes and then we'll do the next step. Okay, so this sauce is starting to cook down a little bit. As it continues to cook, I can definitely detect the amount of pepper in the pepper. It's making me cough a little. Yeah, you can see it starting to soften up. That's the thing about these Scotch bonnets, they really have a certain flavor that it's very unique. One thing I actually forgot to add when I put all this in the saucepan is the salt. So I'm just gonna add 3/4 of a teaspoon. All right, that's looking really good. A couple of the slightly larger peppers, I'm just kind of breaking it down with my wooden spoon a little bit. And I think we're almost ready to add the water. So, oh, this looks awesome. I'm going to add the 2 cups of water now. Pour that right in there. So it's just infusing. All the flavors are just mixing and mingling in there and getting happy. So I'm gonna give this 20 minutes to cook and we will be doing some blending. Oh God, it's definitely hot. Hey everybody, I am ready to blend this sauce. Anyway, so here's what I've got. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to ladle this hot sauce to be into the blender and just pile it in. We want to blend this just enough that it's still chunky. We don't want to puree it. We want to be able to see the little tiny bits and pieces in there because it's cooked down quite a bit. The onion and the tomato have mostly sort of melted down. I'm just going to pulse it. 1, 2, 3. And then I think it's going to be done. Oh, I think that looks just about perfect. All right, so now I am ready to add my 1/4 cup of white distilled vinegar and 2 tablespoons of sugar. What the sugar does is it helps to dissipate the heat. I'm not sure of the science behind it, but without this sugar, this sauce is one heck of a lot hotter. So sugar, definitely a necessary ingredient there. I'm also gonna pour the vinegar in. And I'm not gonna blend it with the blender, I'm just gonna do this part by hand. Once it cools down, I'm gonna try it. I'm pretty excited. The last step is bottling this gold. It kind of looks like gold. This isn't a sauce that we're doing the traditional sort of pickling way. We are not going to give it a water bath or anything like that. These jars have been put through the dishwasher, they've been sterilized. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to pour the sauce. Okay, so I have got a chip and I'm gonna try this sauce. So I'm just gonna pour a little onto my chip. Ooh, that might be a bit ambitious. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot, but man, it's flavorful. It's very, very delicious. Oh yeah, it burns. It burns going down a little bit. It packs a punch. The nice thing about it is that it's got the heat. It's a very hot pepper. This is a sauce that you could essentially slather onto your food if you were having a jerk chicken, anything that you want to basically amp up and make it a little bit more hot to trot. This sauce would definitely do that for you. If you're not a person that loves heat, you probably would find it a tiny bit hot for you, but I like spicy food. So I think this sauce is a star. So if you do decide to try making this, let me know. Let me know what you think. How hot is too hot? Can you handle the heat?